All right, let me get situated. So, welcome to episode 3 of On the French Couch with Seed Money. And let me tell you about my week, as usual. So, this last week started out with me just being casually super domestic, and I cooked a bomb dinner that my French family just loved. It was thanks to Tamba, of course, sending me the recipe for the Italian chicken marbella or whatever. So cooked that up and they loved it. But I did it American dinner style, just kind of like show them how we usually do dinner. So like buffet style, like everything's on the counter. You get your plate and you like load everything up. And what blew their minds was that you put everything on the same plate. Like for us, it's like one course. It's, you know, the fruit and the vegetables and the grain or whatever, you know, rice or vegetables and bread and the meat all on one plate. And then we have like a dessert after. That was just like completely foreign to them. And both the parents, like the kids were down for it and they just were like, yeah, cool, American dinner. But both the parents were like, you do what in the States? They just like could not wrap their minds around like that concept that we put everything on the same plate. Like both of them individually, because the dad came like later, after we'd already started dinner. The mom first asked me, she was like, yeah, so like the bread and the fruit and the vegetables and the meat at the same time? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, that's so American. I was like, what is that supposed to mean? But they ended up super loving it. And randomly here also, like, fruits are desserts. So that was super weird to them that there was like a fruit salad as like not a dessert, but like part of the main course, which was cool. Oh yeah. And then the next day, as we were just walking around as a class, some random dude who's just like walking by like dropped his beanie and somehow did not realize that he had dropped it. And so one of the girls like picks it up and starts like running after him, like, Monsieur, Monsieur. And like he ran around him like 4 times because like after she said Monsieur, and all of us started calling out to him, he like kind of turned this way and she ran around this side. And so like it was she literally I counted, there was like 5 laps around the dude as he just turned, just like spinning to get his hat. And I thought that was pretty funny, just wild goose chase. And the other thing later that day that I realized is that I just love Asians. Love Asians. Because we were just walking and there was just this random, like, must have been 12-year-old kid who was just like at the top of his lungs, like screaming, singing, like just some K-pop song or something, just belting it out as he's walking around Paris. And I just had so much respect for him. It was just like, you live your life, kid. Like, how awesome is your life? Oh, and then so that night we saw It. This was an exciting day, obviously. We saw It, the movie, and afterwards, like right afterward, because there was a bunch of couples like in the theater already, but then like as soon as we get out, all those couples just right on the street just start making out. There was like 4 of them, literally just on the street. I Snapchatted one of them. It was just like, I was so confused. I was like, yeah, nothing like a turn on like It clown, you know, just, I don't know, gets hot for some people. And then as we were, okay, wow, yeah, this day was incredibly exciting, I'm realizing. As we're walking away from this, there's this random, like, I just hear this yelling of like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like looking for like some escapee or like some massive terrorist attack or something. And some dude like on a electric wheelchair, he just looks just so hilarious. I don't know, just this bigger dude with like glasses, just like slowly inching forward, just like whoa, 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 just like trying to get people to move out of the way or something. He's just screaming whoa. I just loved him. Just he was just the greatest. And then so as we're walking, okay, yeah, pretty much everything happened on this one day. As we're walking away from that, we go to McDonald's because we see like the sign, and all of us were just feeling like, oh, a bunch of the girls needed to go to the bathroom, like every 20 seconds. And so then we go in and I wanted like a McFlurry or something. So I just start tapping away because like there you don't give your order to a person, you just go and give it to like a computer, because I guess they hated just dealing with enough tourists that they made these sweet little touch screens that everyone just orders off of, and then you go get it from the people. So that's really the only contact you have is just grabbing your food, which is pretty awesome. Um, and I was like, yeah, like I'm trying to learn French. I'll do it in French. Hit the French button, go through. I'm confused as to why my McFlurry is €9. But I'm just like, I'm just so desperate for ice cream. Looks super bomb. Europe is expensive. I don't know. I guess there's my budget for the day gone on this McFlurry. And I was like, yeah, okay, so I'll get like the cookie butter kind of like crumbles on it, those sweet cookies, and caramel with vanilla ice cream. And so like we wait for it, and she comes over and like hands me this bag, and I realized why it was €9 because I got like a party tub. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess, like sure, because we were in a group of like a bunch of people too, so it came with like a bunch of cups, so it worked out. And then open it up and like start like it looked like weird caramel, I guess, but it turns out it was just mango sauce. So I'm not sure what was like. I'm pretty sure I was just skipping through the menu, just super, like just based on like look, not really reading anything, or my French just really sucks. I don't know. Probably a combination of the two, because I wasn't reading. I was just skipping through, so I got a big tub of mango sauce, vanilla, cookie butter ice cream. We shared that. That was interesting. And they just made fun of me all night for not knowing what the freak I ordered. And then, okay, so I think that was the end of that night. And then the next night, this could have still been on the same night, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was on the next night. We came out of a metro. There was just a group of us, and there's just like this massive, like famous fountain in downtown Paris, and I always liked it, and it just had like a bunch of marble and everything. And then suddenly there was just like this Mission Impossible setup, like right outside of it, of just like all these vans and like government vehicles and like sirens and everything. I'm like, what is going on? And I look, and they're just like, it looked like there was just some kind of like secret crack squad of people stealing water from the fountain. Because they have like these massive like tinfoil tubes and pipes like going into the intakes, and they're all like yelling at each other. And it just looked like they were stealing fountain water. I don't know actually what was going on. I have no idea. But so I guess Mission Impossible, the next movie, is stealing fountain water from Paris. And then, oh, this was probably the highlight of the week. Actually, no, I'll tell another thing first, and then I'll tell the highlight, because I have to end on a high note. But so we went to Reims, which is Reims. It's like where the surrender was of the Nazis, the original surrender. And just like there's a super awesome cathedral there, of course, and just a bunch of cool stuff that we did. And that's also where like champagne was invented. It was right around there. And randomly in that town, like the really small four-wheelers are super like popular. And so we saw at least like 12 people riding on like what can only be described as like Mario Kart, like go-kart sized four-wheelers, because it's just like it's just that same kind of thing. When you look on Mario Kart, it's like it just seems like a large person on a tiny little cart. And same with these four-wheelers, like they weren't kid ones, they were definitely like still adult, but they were just like mini. And so just seeing big people, and it wasn't in a group, it was just like at random times we just saw different people, so it wasn't like one tour group or something, but it was like French people, just like a big dude on this tiny little like go-kart thing, and just seeing them like turn as they're going down the street was just the most entertaining thing ever. Okay, but highlight time. So we're waiting for this metro or this subway train, and it comes, and I guess there was just some hobo or like some drunk hobo or something bugging this random like girl, and it's like, so not that it's important at all, but it was just like, so there's this random like drunk white hobo dude, and then this like this random African girl, and I don't know what he did to piss her off. The girl that we were with was paying attention. Her name is Audrey, and she was like, what's going on over there? And like me and the other dude, Tanner, we're just talking. We're completely oblivious to the situation. And then suddenly we just hear screaming, and you just see this lady, like, she must have been like 22 or something. She just like kicks off her heels. She was like in a nice outfit, kicks off her heels and runs over and just ninja throws the dude metro, She literally just hurls him over her shoulder and starts like beating him on the ground, and everyone's just like, oh, until like I guess some of her friends came and like separated her and the dude just got up, just like totally just phased out of his mind, just like and just keeps yelling random gibberish. And she like runs over and like grabs her heels and gets back, like gets onto the train and leaves on the train. And all of us are still just sitting there, just like, oh. Such respect for that lady, especially because like randomly in Paris, girls kind of just get like grabbed all the time, while they're on, especially in the metro. Dudes will just like grab their butt or whatever, or just like just total pervs everywhere. And so we were all just like so impressed with this lady or this girl who just stood up for herself and just beat down this random dude. But it was just so funny that she literally like left her massive heels, just like kicked him off. I don't know if they're like, I don't know what to call them, if professional girl term, like wedges or what, but they were just massive thick heels that must have been like a foot tall. So she just kicked those off and gave it to this dude and just threw him like literally 3 feet. I don't even know how she moved, because she was probably like 5'6" or something, and he must have been like my height, like 6'2", 6'3", and she hurled him. So I don't know if it's just some kind of self-defense or just like adrenaline, but yeah, mad respect to that lady. Anyways, yeah, so that was my week. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you want to hear about anything, of course, or more about school or whatever we're doing, and I'll talk about it next week. But love you guys. Bye.